Good evening, welcome to the Government News Brief. This evening, work is moving apace to improve the Guyana-Suriname ferry service, and in education, sustainable school feeding programs will be incorporated into government policy, and officials are being trained in cybersecurity, and an illegally imported hearse was quickly quarantined yesterday. Thanks for staying with us. We start the news this evening by telling you that passengers using the Guyana-Suriname ferry will soon enjoy a more comfortable service. I interviewed Minister Annette Ferguson on the developments. Rehabilitation works are ongoing at the Guyana-Suriname Kanawaima ferry service at Molson Creek Quarantine, Berbice. Minister in the Ministry of Public Infrastructure Annette Ferguson says the works aim to enhance the terminal's aesthetics and upgrade passenger services.
The scope of work entails the following. 1, repairs to the manager's office and that of the VIP lounge. 2, removal of vents and installation of doors. 3, removal of louver windows or panes. 4, repairs to the washroom and waiting area. And we will be, also effecting some works in the canteen and the waiting area.
No major works were undertaken at the port since its establishment in November 6, 1998. Hence, the rehabilitation was catered for in the 2017 budget, the minister explains.
These semi-autonomous agencies, they would normally, prepare their budget and share it with the Ministry of Finance. So what would have happened is that the board there and management, they would have decided on some of the works to be done in the area. They would have made their submissions, follow the procurement guidelines and, had the monies available.
The project commenced on May 30 and is expected to be completed by August 8, 2017. Works supervisor David Small says there are some challenges.
We were working to this mountain, but it might go over a little bit because the ceiling is being in operation while we working, so you don't get much time to work because of the dust and the noise and stuff like that.
Statistics from the Transport and Harbors Department reveals that the Kanawaima Guyana ferry service facilitates a significant influx of visitors from Suriname. Paul McAdam now joins us to report that the Ministry of Public Telecommunications is training education officials on how to be safe online.
The role of education in cybersecurity is the theme for a 2-day workshop being hosted by the Ministry of Public Telecommunications and the International Telecommunications Union, the ITU, at the North Rhine-Veldt Multilateral School. Minister Catherine Hughes is reinforcing the need for educators to protect students and the education system from the dangers lurking on the internet.
We have to do whatever it takes to make them ever so conscious of the possibilities lurking behind their cell phones and their computer screens. We have to teach them to be cautious when talking to people they don't know, and even with people they think they know. And we have to teach them how to deal with online bullies.
The minister assures that her ministry is pushing forward on its vision of ensuring greater internet access for all citizens. She says that measures will be put in place to ensure the nation's safety from cybersecurity threats.
Our unwavering intention is to turn Guyana's population into a digitally competent one, which is uncompromising on safety and the responsibilities that we have to guarantee that. We will ensure that everyone is able to enjoy the benefits of the internet while keeping ourselves safe.
Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, Marcel Hudson, lauds the workshop's timeliness given his ministry's renewed efforts to integrate information communication technology into the school system.
We've had tablets being distributed to our children as a pilot project in, I think it's like 8 schools. And so clearly we can see our children, they're now exposed to the internet. And because of this exposure, one has got to be mindful and careful as to how we treat with our children as they are exposed to the internet.
The 2-day workshop covers areas of preventing cyberbullying, cybersecurity, and school management issues. Whilst day one focuses on training education officials, including secondary school principals and IT teachers, the second day will target teachers, guardians, student representatives, and school counsellors. Paul McCallum for the Government News Brief.
Thank you, Paul. The school feeding program is being improved and streamlined. In this Delicia Haynes report, we hear what is being done to achieve this.
School feeding should be a multi-sectoral policy program, and various government ministries and stakeholders gathered today to discuss with development partner agencies strategic ways towards developing a sustainable school feeding program in Guyana. Rupert Robertson, FAO representative to Guyana, explains.
We have these sustainable development goals, and we are speaking about ensuring, focusing on what we call the 5 Ps. Planet, people, prosperity, peace, and partnership. Next. And so sustainable school feeding, nutrition programs, and SDGs are important component of countries' social policy and could contribute directly to the eradication of poverty.
The stakeholders aim to forge strategies in implementing a sustainable school feeding program throughout Guyana. Robertson says that school feeding can be the core of government's policies to eliminate hunger countrywide.
Why are nutrition-sensitive interventions important at schools? This is where we want to ground the sustainable school feeding. Having looked at the challenges, some of the opportunities, what we have committed ourselves to, and the multidisciplinary, intersectorial, multidimensional nature, we want to see how school feeding really fits into all of this. And we're seeing here that malnutrition is a global challenge. And for Guyana, as we indicated, undernourishment is greater than 10%.
The Ministry of Education currently has 5 activities under its school feeding program, which provides healthy meals to about 22,000 students in 158 schools. These include the breakfast program, the juice and biscuit program for students on the coastland, the Dora feeding program on the Linden-Suzdijk Highway, the peanut butter and cassava bread program in Region 9, and the community-based school feeding program in Regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. A sustainable school feeding program promotes healthy eating to the younger population, the development of cognitive skills, development of sustainable communities, and poverty reduction. A sustainable school feeding program is permanent and provides at least one healthy meal to all students in all schools daily. For the Government News Brief, Delicia Haynes.
A European ICT expert is in Guyana to share his wealth of knowledge and cutting-edge information. Dr. Arvo Ott from Estonia in Eastern Europe informs private sector stakeholders on the benefits of going fully digital. Gabriella Patram has the details.
Businesses in the private sector benefited from a presentation by the Executive Director of the EGovernment Academy in Estonia. Dr. Ott presented on the benefits of operating fully digital and the returns of such investments.
We are just explaining a little bit some frameworks around what was the impact of electronic government for citizens, for businesses, but also how it makes government more efficient and more transparent.
All government services, especially in the education, health and security sectors, will benefit tremendously when a country becomes fully digital. Gabriella Patram for the Government News Brief.
Gabriella joins us once again in a follow-up report to tell us how the Crabwood Creek ICT Help became a reality after months of languishing inactivity.
A room in the pavilion of the Crabwood Creek Community Center grounds stored 15 computers in boxes, collecting dust and cobwebs up to February of this year. An assessment was done by a team from the EGovernment unit, which saw the immense potential. Presidential advisor on e-governance, Floyd Levi, immediately decided that the facility could be used to transform the lives of Crabwood Creek residents. The brand new computers were taken out, dusted off, and a fully connected internet hub was established.
It was at that meeting, I think it was a Saturday, where we immediately installed internet access, and we demonstrated to them that with internet access and the computers here, that they can change things.
Today, the ICT Hub is fully operational. Every day, dozens of children and other residents use the facility to complete homework, assignments, send emails, browse the internet, and communicate with family and friends on social media.
At this community, one of the first tests that our internet access received was from a member of the NDC. So when we told them the internet was available, the person immediately connected to WhatsApp and made a call overseas.
With more ICT hubs being established in Region 6 and other regions, thousands more Guyanese like Crabwood Creek residents will enjoy the free service already available in over 50 communities across Guyana. For the Government News Brief, Gabriela Patram.
Thank you, Gabriela. An illegally imported horse was quickly quarantined late last evening by the authorities. Delicia Haynes was on the scene and joins us once again to conclude this evening's newscast with this most interesting report.
Customs officers clearing the live cargo yesterday at the Guyana National Shipping Corporation Wharf, Georgetown, reported to the GLDA, which has since impounded the illegally imported horse at its Temeri quarantine station. It has been illegal to import horses from Trinidad due to several animal health concerns. GLDA Deputy CEO Dr. Dwight Warren says,
over the years in 2013 and 2014, we had some incidents where we had a number of animals being imported from Trinidad illegally. Because of that, we would have, basically you can say it is now illegal to bring horses from Trinidad by boat, or an animal leaving Trinidad without being microchipped, or reaching the requirements of Guyana, meaning all the vaccinations and so on.
The 4-year-old male horse has been quarantined to facilitate preliminary examinations by veterinarians, after which it will be handed over to the police for necessary action.
Once we're comfortable, this animal would be given to the police. All right? We wouldn't be doing an auction, or the owner would not be getting this animal because it was imported illegally. The police has already been informed. They're going to be dealing with the importer of this animal. I would have spoken to that importer on numerous occasions, pleading to us. She was trying to plead to us that we should give a waiver on the import requirements. I cannot do that.
Dr. Warren explained that between 1980 and 1990, there was an outbreak of equine encephalomyelitis, commonly known as EE, in horses imported from Trinidad. This led to the implementation of stringent laws aimed at protecting against future outbreaks. Dr. Warren also explained that importers must meet the mandatory requirements for the importation of horses.
For an animal horse specifically, to be imported from Trinidad, they must be microchipped. A copy of the birth certificate has to be submitted to the GLD. Secondly, with respect to disease, they must be vaccinated against equine encephalomyelitis, glanders, must be free of African swine sickness and some other infectious diseases. They must be dewormed and treated for internal and external parasites.
The doctor further pointed out that first-time importers are subjected to interviews with the GLDA to be informed of the requirements before beginning the animal importation process. For the Government News Brief, Delicia Haynes.
Thanks for watching. Visit gina.gov.gy for more news and information 24/7. We're also on Facebook and YouTube, and the links are on the screen. Have a great evening.